Oh, open three. Oh, what a sight for Lexi Hull. She has needed that one to drop.
Imagine your team's worst nightmare coming true. Your superstar is already out with an injury. Then, in a single disastrous game, your roster is completely decimated. Both of your point guards suffer season-ending injuries, leaving you with zero healthy options to run the offense. This was the impossible situation the Indiana Fever faced, heading into a rivalry game against the Chicago Sky. They were crippled, desperate, and supposed to be an easy win. But what happened next wasn't just a story of survival, it was the birth of a monster.
We're back home, baby, let's go! Back in the W column. Well, I got the challenge. That's a big job, baby. Point guard.
Pick that up.
The Fever were supposed to be on the verge of a total collapse. They were stumbling through a brutal West Coast road trip, dropping back-to-back games that stalled all their momentum. First, they were without their phenom, Caitlin Clark, sidelined since mid-July with quad and groin injuries. With no clear timeline for her return, the team was already vulnerable. But during a game against Phoenix, vulnerable turned into catastrophic. In the first quarter, backup point guard Sydney Colson went down with a torn ACL. You could see it happen in real time. Her season was over, just like that. But the nightmare was only getting started. In the fourth quarter of that very same game, the team's other point guard, Ari McDonald, broke a bone in her foot. 2 point guards, 2 season-ending injuries, in a single game. The roster was left with a gaping hole.
Obviously we lost our last 2, but I don't know, that LA one felt good for us because we didn't quit. And then, life happened the other night at the Valley, so we could have looked at it like, oh, woe is me, and, we don't have enough players, and we didn't. So shout out to our group for just staying confident and staying ready because, it's a professional league and we have to be ready and we can't make too many excuses about it because no one's going to hand us anything. So we might as well look at it for what it is and keep showing up.
They had 0 healthy, true point guards. Let that sink in. No team can function without its floor general, let alone its backup. The front office couldn't even make a trade as the deadline had passed. They were stuck. Coach Stephanie White told the media they'd have to run the offense by committee, a classic coach speak term that really means we are out of options and we're going to have to improvise. Fans were questioning if this team had the grit to handle real adversity. The Chicago Sky, a team that had lost to the Fever every single time they played this season, saw their chance. They were catching Indiana at their absolute weakest, wounded, desperate, and missing their biggest star. They thought they were walking into an easy revenge win. They were about to find out how devastatingly wrong they were.
Tonight?
Unbelievably proud. I think this is the most resilient team I've ever been a part of, and I say that wholeheartedly. We've had a lot of mishap happen throughout the course of the season. I think throughout the course of it all, we've stayed resilient, and you guys get to see us at our best when we stay together and be resilient. So shout out to my girls tonight because I think it took everybody. Everyone played a piece, played a role, and I think that's how we got the dub.
While the team was in crisis, one player was trapped in her own personal hull. For weeks, Lexi Hull had been stuck in the worst shooting slump of her professional career. Every shot felt like a battle, and every miss was another crack in her confidence. This wasn't just an off night. This was a deep psychological spiral. In the 2 weeks leading up to the Chicago game, Hull had shot a painful 2 for 25 from beyond the arc. She was hesitating on open looks, passing up shots she used to take without a second thought.
I mean, you guys are unfortunately kind of familiar with injury updates this season, but I imagine yesterday's was probably pretty tough. Just what's the reaction been from you guys, the players, the coaches, to losing Sid and Ari?
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, just brokenhearted for them. They're 2 really good people that you hate to see this happen to. They've been an integral part of what we've been doing, and so hate it for them. Unfortunately, it's part of the deal, and we've got to roll with it. And we've got players in that locker room who believe in one another. Players in that locker room who are as competitive as all get out. We've got versatility, and it's going to have to be on full display. So I think now it's about playing to honor them, right, and playing for them.
Her natural fluid stroke was being replaced by stiff, mechanical doubt. She was creating a mental prison where overthinking had taken over instinct. The Phoenix game was her rock bottom, 1 for 11 from the field, 0 for 8 from three-point range. After that game, teammate Kelsey Mitchell pulled her aside for an emotional talk, promising her that the team still believed in her and would count on her no matter what. But belief can only take you so far when the ball simply refuses to go in the net. What happened next would not only break her slump, but ignite a fire in the entire team.
This means you don't have any healthy point guards and you're not able to sign anyone for tonight's game. Just for tonight specifically, what is your plan kind of running point?
We'll have to do it by committee, certainly. I mean, we've been utilizing AB to initiate offense throughout the course of the season, so we'll use her, continue to use her. Sophie, at times this season, particularly early, ran some of the point for us as well. So we'll utilize her, and Kelsey can initiate offense too. So I think the most important thing is that we aren't going to be able to do every play in our arsenal. We'll have to play a big lineup. We'll have to simplify. But we've got players who are capable of getting us into offense, and we'll utilize them in such a way.
Then came the moment that changed everything. Early in the game against Chicago, Lexie Hull caught the ball on the wing. With Caitlin Clark watching intently from the bench, Hull rose up and let her first three-point attempt fly. The ball arced through the air with a perfect rotation and swished through the net. On the sideline, Clark leaped to her feet, a massive grin on her face, celebrating as if she had just hit the game winner herself. That single shot broke the dam. You could physically see the weight lift off Hull's shoulders. The hesitation vanished, replaced by a swagger that had been missing for weeks. She started hunting for her shot, moving with purpose and freedom.
Williams gonna have to hurry off the dribble, rolls out. Oh, open three. Oh, what a sight for Lexi Hull. She has needed that one to drop.
Lexi Hull catching fire.
Now Chicago just needs to get it a little bit more settled here in the half court. Nurse loses it. Mitchell 2-on-1. It's a foot race. Mitchell to Cunningham. Cunningham right there for two more.
That one make was all it took. Hull went on to finish the game 4 for 6 from three-point range, scoring 17 points in a season-high performance. But the stats don't tell the real story. This was a player rediscovering her identity in real time. With every shot that fell, her teammates erupted. Aaliyah Boston threw up the three-point sign with both hands. Sophie Cunningham wrapped her in a hug. They weren't just celebrating the points, they were celebrating the return of their teammate from a dark place. Hull's plus 22 rating showed her impact went far beyond scoring. She was back, and her resurgence was just the first sign that this was going to be a very long night for Chicago.
What was kind of the last month like? How do you stay out of your head or listen to the right people? What is that balance like? As you know what you need to do. Take us kind of what's that like?
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, it's focusing on doing the right thing, taking the right shots, being in the right place, focusing less on the outcome of things. Missed shots happen. It's going to happen in everyone's career. And to just really focus on getting the next good one. I think that's the whole mindset. And we know we have confidence in every single person on every shot that they take. So, it's just keep shooting.
With the team's point guard problem reaching critical levels, another player was asked to do the impossible. Kelsey Mitchell has built her entire 7-year WNBA career on one thing: getting buckets. She's a pure, explosive scorer, a player whose first, second, and third instinct is to put the ball in the basket. Her game is built on a scorer's mentality, always looking for her own opportunity, always ready to attack. But with no one else to run the offense, Coach White turned to her. Playing point guard meant sacrificing her own looks to set up her teammates.
And then Lexi, what was it like to finally break out of that slump, and especially on a night when they needed you to?
Yeah, I mean, it feels good. It feels good to see the ball go through the net. But I think, every game, regardless, you're making shots, you're not, it feels really, really good to have your teammates behind you. And I definitely feel that every day. And it's fun. It was fun today to get to celebrate some of those.
It went against every fiber of her basketball DNA. She had to completely rewire her brain on the fly, transforming from a finisher to a facilitator. It was a massive gamble, a desperate measure for a desperate team. This wasn't a minor adjustment, it was a fundamental shift in her role and responsibilities, asking her to be the very thing she had never been. The plan was to simplify the offense, but Mitchell was about to do something far from simple. She was about to reinvent herself.
Oh, open three. Oh, what a sight for Lexi Hull. She has needed that one to drop.
Hull benches up. Caitlin Clark with a big grin.
The first few possessions were an adjustment. You could see Mitchell fighting her natural instincts, looking to score when she should have been looking to pass. But then, something clicked. Suddenly, she started seeing the floor in a way she never had before. Passing lanes that were invisible to her as a shooting guard opened up. She began to conduct the offense like a seasoned maestro, threading beautiful passes to open teammates and setting them up for easy baskets. The transformation was stunning. Chicago's defense was completely baffled.
Again, no Sydney Colson out for the year with the ACL tear. Lexi Hull, though, the bucket and the foul. He's dealt with so much scoring adversity lately.
Yeah, terrific baseline execution. She comes off the curl. Tell you what, this Fever team is going to be very dangerous, no matter the roster.
Oh, Lexi Hull! Heat checking her napalm era right now.
If they played her for the pass, she'd blow by them for a layup. If they collapsed on her drive, she'd find the open shooter. She wasn't just managing the offense. She was weaponizing it. She was still getting her points, but now her scoring threat was a tool to create for others. Mitchell finished the game with a season-high 8 assists and only 1 turnover, a remarkable feat for someone playing out of position. In one night, she had evolved from a pure scorer into a point god, a dual-threat nightmare that the Sky had absolutely no answer for.
Lexi, that final three-pointer kind of felt like the perfect end of that night. Just, if you could just talk to me about the celebration, how much of a relief that was for you, just kind of to punctuate it like that.
I mean, it's fun, you know, that the crowd was behind us today. It's fun to walk out of the gym on a high note and on a make. And yeah, I mean, I saw the time going down, so I was trying to pull out my inner Kelsey Mitchell.
This wasn't a close, hard-fought victory. This was a statement. The final score read 92-70, a 22-point demolition of a rival team that thought they had the Fever right where they wanted them. This was Indiana's 4th straight victory over Chicago, a win that officially sent the Sky spiraling toward the bottom of the WNBA standings for the 2nd consecutive year. But this was more than just a win. It was a display of sheer force, a clinical dismantling of an opponent.
Crazy that I'm like, when the song comes on, just like it's all there. Like, you just gotta believe it, and I think Lexi knows that we believe in her. Our last game in Phoenix, I think we all were just a bit emotional about everything, and I think me and Lexi had an emotional moment because, you know, no one shot well, and I want her to know that we gonna count on her for, you know, what she brings to the table every night, and I'm gonna always stand by my teammates, so you never have to worry about that.
The Fever controlled the game from start to finish, playing with a level of chemistry and confidence that seemed impossible given their circumstances. This was proof that the Indiana Fever have built something real, something sustainable that goes far beyond one superstar player. They didn't just survive without Caitlin Clark. In many ways, they became stronger, more versatile, and more dangerous. The message was sent, loud and clear, to every other team with championship aspirations. This Fever team is for real.
Yeah, Kelsey, you obviously had to play out of position tonight, kind of fill in that point. You had a season-high 8 assists. Just how did you try to embrace that for this game and kind of?
Oh man, I haven't played point guard. I was telling the girls I haven't played point guard maybe since college, and so that was different. But I think it brings out the vulnerable side of me, the leadership in which I need to keep getting better at and keep growing at. I think being in this PG position kind of helps with that. And I think I believe in my team, so seeing my assists, go up is just because of these girls. We have an unbelievable chemistry when it comes to, seeing and reading each other, so I think they made me look good tonight.
But a 22-point blowout isn't the work of just 2 players. While Hull and Mitchell had their breakout moments, the victory was built on the backs of the team's unsung heroes. Look no further than Aaliyah Boston, the quiet anchor in the paint. She was the calm in the storm, controlling the boards, altering shots, and providing a steadying presence that allowed her teammates to play with aggressive freedom. Her quiet efficiency is the bedrock upon which this team is built. Then there was Sophie Cunningham, the scrappy, selfless heart of the team.
Just to add to that, I think Kelsey's not giving herself enough credit. Her and Sophie putting themselves before the team, making sure that they're sacrificing, playing out of position, doing things that they don't normally do, maybe uncomfortable, but I think they both really did a great job of sacrificing in those moments and doing what the team needed to do.
My girl, sexy Lexi.
She also had to play out of position, sharing ball handling duties, and sacrificing her own game for the good of the team. She was the glue holding everything together, doing the dirty work that never shows up in the box score but is essential to winning. This complete, all-around team effort is what turned a potential loss into a historic win. It proved this wasn't a fluke. It was the result of a system where every single player was ready to step up.
We're settled here in the half court. Nurse loses it. Mitchell 2-on-1. It's a foot race. Mitchell to Cunningham. Cunningham right there for 2 more.
This performance wasn't just about winning a game. It was about psychological warfare. This was the Fever's 4th consecutive victory over the Chicago Sky, a team they have now established complete dominance over. The Sky walked into that arena expecting to feast on a wounded opponent. Instead, they were the ones who were hunted. The Fever's relentless defense and fluid ball movement didn't just score points, it demoralized Chicago.
Cunningham thought about it this time, puts it on the deck. A deflection, bodies flying to the floor. Mitchell controls, 8 to shoot. Mitchell, hesitation in the paint. The floater off the window.
And here is Kelsey Mitchell getting downhill. Little sidestep into the floater.
Pivoting, pirouetting, tough shot, well defended. Mitchell trying to attack Allen. Step back tray. Mitchell buries it.
Kelsey obviously had to play out of position tonight. She had a season high 8 assists. Just how did you see her embrace having to do that, embrace having to do like what the team needed tonight?
Yeah, I mean, that's who she is. She just wants to play. And, I felt like we did a good job of still getting her the ball in positions that she had been getting the ball. We just tried to do it, a little bit more often and try to get it a little bit more in flow. And she let the game come to her. Her decision making has been really good. She had those 8 assists and only 1 turnover. Her shot making was really good, as it always is, and we know that she's going to create a lot of gravity because of what she does on the offensive end. And she did a really good job of picking her moments and finding her teammates when she needed to.
You could see it on the court as the game wore on. The Sky looked confused, frustrated, and completely out of answers. Every time they tried to build momentum, the Fever had a response. This kind of systematic dismantling does more than add a loss to a team's record. It breaks their spirit. The Fever didn't just prove they were the better team on the night. They planted a seed of doubt that will linger the next time these two rivals meet. They exposed the Sky's weaknesses and established a mental edge that is just as valuable as any physical one.
It's now Van Lith on the island. Mitchell trying to create a little separation. Oh, the hezzy and the scoop off the window. Kelsey Mitchell.
Can't guard her off the bounce. The hezzy, the floater, the kiss off the clap.
Parades the baseline back up top. Working again. Westbelt. Step back 3. Rolls it in. And that is a long 2 this time.
She is her own worst critic. She's a perfectionist. She wants everything to go right all the time. And, it was nice to see the ball go through the net for her and for her to play with such confidence. I mean, for us, we believe that every time she shoots it, it's going to go in. But for her to finally feel that and see that and play with so much confidence, it's big for us. We need her. She always does the little things that don't show up on the stat sheet, but when she knocks down shots, we're a different team.
Victories like this are where championships are truly won, long before the playoffs ever begin. It's in these moments of extreme adversity that a team's true character is revealed. Coach Stephanie White has spoken at length about building a culture of resilience and togetherness, prioritizing quality human beings who are selfless and connected. This game was the ultimate proof of that philosophy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm proud of this group. I think we've shown all season long, they're resilient, they're connected, they pull for each other, they enjoy one another. They celebrate one another, and that stuff alone is good for 10 to 12 points a game. And for this group, the way that they share the ball, how unselfish they are. I mean, I'm really proud of them. It's not been ideal circumstances all season long, but they've shown the character of who they are. They've been resilient. They've responded to adversity, and they continue to elevate one another. And you know, I couldn't be more proud of this group than I am at this moment.
This is what championship DNA looks like. It's not just about talent, it's about the unshakable belief that even when everything goes wrong, the team can find a way to win. The injuries, Hull's shooting slump, and Mitchell's positional sacrifice were all tests. This team didn't just pass them, they aced them, proving that their culture isn't just a talking point, it's their greatest weapon. They have now proven to themselves and to the entire league that they have the mental fortitude to overcome anything.
I think it just says a lot about who we have as human beings. You know, that was one of the things that we made a priority in the off season of, you know, who we bring into this organization. Number one, quality human beings, selfless human beings, that want to pull for one another, that understand. You know, we have this depth for a reason, and sometimes it creates challenges getting people on the floor. But in situations like this is why you have it. And I'm just, you know, she's right. I mean, as a pro and as a pro coach, you know, this is one of the most connected groups I've seen.
What we witnessed wasn't just a win, it was the blueprint for a championship run. This game proved that the players around Caitlin Clark are not just a supporting cast. Lexi Hull rediscovered her identity as a lethal shooter. Kelsey Mitchell unlocked a new dimension to her game as an elite facilitator. They are legitimate weapons, capable of taking over a game at a moment's notice. The adversity of losing their star and their point guards didn't break them, it forged them into something stronger. So here is the thought that should terrify every other team in the WNBA. The worst thing that could have happened for the league wasn't Caitlin Clark getting injured. It was the monster that her absence created. Because when she returns, she's not coming back to save a struggling team. She's rejoining a juggernaut.